What's up, you guys? It's Perry the Entertainer back again for another video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the events that happened on last night's episode of Monday Night Raw. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down there. Follow me on Twitter at the PE Show so we can live chat during Raw, during pay-per-views, during all sorts of stuff. And let's get right down to business. We had Stephanie McMahon come down and basically address Vickie Guerrero as to the events of what happened last week with the whole vomit humor thing, that stupid thing. The fact that this entire segment was inspired because the McMahons had bad coffee or something last week. That's just ridiculous. Let's be for real. WWE is going to really give, they're going to give its fans vomit humor so that, oh, haha, that's funny. Stephanie McMahon freaking vomited everywhere and she vomited on Vickie Guerrero. Oh, that's so funny. No, it's not, because they're using it as a decoy. They're using it as a segue to get Vickie Guerrero out of the company because Vickie said she's leaving. She's leaving to go pursue other things and pursue other dreams and everything. And she's going to go out being vomited on. Like, what good does that do? Because if for some whatever reason Vickie Guerrero comes back, we're not going to look at her the same anymore because we're going to keep visioning this vomit crap. Let's be for real. We're all going to, And then Vickie ended up coming down. She said that she was a warrior. She was a Guerrero. They're warriors. They're fighters. And Stephanie basically said, I was going to fire you, but you know what? If you said you're a warrior, how about you prove it? Vickie Guerrero versus Stephanie McMahon later on in the night, which ended up coming out to Vickie ended up coming out to Eddie Guerrero's theme, which was awesome. First time we've heard Eddie's theme in a long time. I think it was really cool. Then Stephanie came out, no ring gear whatsoever. Says that, she has to get through some of her minions or everything, and out comes the rest of the heel diva roster. We have Alicia Fox, we have Layla, and we had Rosa freaking Mendez. They come down to throw Vickie into this mud pit where if Vickie went into the mud pit first, Vickie would be fired. But if Stephanie somehow went into it, then Vickie would be the permanent general manager of SmackDown. I feel that they've done something like that before. I believe they've done something like permanent SmackDown general manager, and that really necessarily didn't matter. So, we had the three heel divas take the face diva, who surprisingly is Vickie Guerrero, because you wouldn't really think that someone who's been hated for so long, since like 2007, 7 years later, off of one promo with someone more hated than her, and she is loved by everybody in the freaking world, But then, the heel divas carry Vickie to the mud pit. They go to throw her in. Vickie fights them off. She throws all three of them in there. And then while she's celebrating, Stephanie McMahon kicks Vickie in. Stephanie ends up winning the match, quote unquote. It wasn't really even a match. But then basically Vickie threw Stephanie into it. And I don't understand why WWE would do such a thing to try. Why would you shit on the legacy of the Guerreros like that? I don't really necessarily care that Vickie's not really blood related to the Guerreros, but she still got the last name of them. Chavo's probably not coming back. Eddie obviously isn't coming back. May his soul rest in peace. Chavo, I don't know. I mean, they do have Eddie's daughter in developmental, I think. Or did she get released for the seventh time or something like that? I don't remember. But don't shit on the Guerreros like that, though. There's a legendary wrestling family. And to have WWE just embarrass them by vomit humor and throwing them in mud pits, like, what the hell is that? I don't find it funny. I find it sad. I find it sad that such a legendary wrestling family is being dumbed down to something like this. That's like the Von Erichs coming in and doing the same thing. You can't do that, because that just shits on the legacy of the Guerreros like that. And like I said, I don't care that Vickie's not really blood related, but she, represented Eddie. She knew Eddie for the longest time, married to Eddie. So, take that as you will, but I was not a huge fan of the segment just because of that simple fact that it seemed like it made the Guerreros look weak. It made the Guerreros, which is a legendary wrestling family, made them look so stupid, so pitiful for being vomited on and mud pit. I'm sorry, but that's what I thought about that. We had some pretty good matches tonight too. We had Seth Rollins versus RVD after the announcement of Triple H that the the participants in the Money in the Bank ladder match were Dolph Ziggler, Rob Van Dam, Bad News Barrett, Kofi Kingston, Jack Swagger, Seth Rollins, and then eventually after this match, we had Dean Ambrose get put into the match as well so that Seth Rollins could get his hands on Dean Ambrose, because Dean Ambrose cost him the win in his match with Rob Van Dam, which could have been main evented a Raw or something like that, especially in like 2005, because these two have so good chemistry, and it's so surprising. And I think I've said this before on my channel. It's so surprising to see Rob Van Dam, who's aging so much. You can see it. You can hear it when he talks. He's aging so much, but he's still able to put up dang good matches. He's still able to, make wrestling still look good. He hasn't really had much of a bad match since the Kenny King match that he had for the X Division title. And that was a long time ago. So, that was a pretty good match. We had, Kofi and Swagger. Kofi jobbed to Swagger in about 2.5 minutes. We all know the only reason Kofi's in the match is so that we can have that wow moment like he does in every Royal Rumble and every Money in the Bank match that he's in, so that we have that one wow moment to remember the match, and then Kofi fades off into extinction again somewhere. But, we all know that's the only reason why Kofi's actually in the match. Swagger made easy work of him, and I don't know what the hell Swagger's doing right now. So then we had the Intercontinental Championship match between Bad News Barrett and Dolph Ziggler. Easily match of the night. If you missed this match for anything, I suggest watch it somewhere on YouTube. I'm sure somebody has it up. Bad News Barrett versus Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship. It was a very good match, and I don't know what WWE is, but they're making their love for Bad News Barrett show, because I have some odd feeling that Bad News Barrett is my favorite going into this match, going in and then coming out as the Money in the Bank holder. He has a world title match in his future, and I think that is definitely a very good thing. But it could also be a very bad thing. We've all seen what happened with the Damien Sandow incident from last year, and where the hell is he now? He's dancing with Fandango. He's playing basketball with Big Show. He's, out there in a LeBron James jersey. He was freaking Honest Abraham Lincoln last night, and then jobbed the freaking Biggie Langston in 2 minutes. And that was the funniest thing in the world, was the Biggie Langston preaching thing. That was funnier than hell. If you were not following me, PTE show down in the description box, please go follow me, because the PTE party was lit the hell up last night. We had a damn good time during Raw, and I suggest if you want to join in on the fun, just do it. Just do it. Nike it, But, it was a damn good match with Dolph Ziggler and Bad News Barrett, though. Barrett walks away. Barrett still retains the Intercontinental Championship. Ziggler still looks strong in the process, so Ziggler also is another top contender for the Money in the Bank ladder match this Sunday at the pay-per-view. And I'm not a huge fan with how WWE was building up this match, a week prior to when it's actually going to happen. They actually had 2 to 3 weeks to actually build this match up. But, there's not even a whole lot of sight set on the world title match anyway, so I don't see why they couldn't just throw some time to the Money in the Bank ladder match, let it solidify who's gonna walk out with the titles, or who's gonna walk out with the briefcase, and then go from there is basically what I'm saying. But we had the Honest Abe crap, we had Rusev, that happened. After basically all I have to really mention is the 4-on-3 handicap match, which was our main event of the night. We had the heels versus the faces: Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, Alberto Del Rio, and Cesaro versus John Cena, Sheamus, and Roman Reigns. With how big John Cena and Roman Reigns are right now, it's like a 6-on-4. In reality, the 4 and the 4-on-3 were actually being the ones handicapped. But the boring, cheesy, bland match, because it happened on SmackDown literally 3 days before. Boring. Sheamus ends up getting the victory over Cesaro, and Kane comes out and tears house. And finally, you guys get to hear my rant. You guys get to hear my Kane rant, because the way that this was done made Kane look so shitty. And I know Kane has looked shitty over the last few weeks now. So me saying this now doesn't really necessarily mean anything. If I said this 2 weeks ago, then it would mean something. Kane goes out there, tears house, beats the hell out of just about everybody except for the heels mainly. I think he beat up Orton. I think was the only, no, he didn't even beat up Orton. He beat up Cesaro, I think. He beat up Cesaro, and he beat up the 3 good guys. And Triple H goes out there, says, hey, the 8th man in the WWE ladder match, Kane. And Kane stands tall, and then Roman Reigns freaking comes out of nowhere, completely no-sells what Kane did to him, comes in, spears him, spears him, and lo and behold, the good guys are on top again. The good guys have the advantage going into the match again. What the hell is this crap? Why are you trying to make Kane? You try out to make Kane look so good. You try and make Kane look so dominant. The Demon Kane from Hellfire and Brimstone. Why is that car in my freaking shot? This is my time. We had Kane go out there. He's supposed to be all hellfire and brimstone. He kills anybody in his path. He goes out there and he looks like the biggest bitch on television. Like, let's be for real. Because Roman Reigns freaking no-sells everything, comes into the ring, spears Kane, make Kane look like a joke, and then looks at Triple H, stares at Triple H to end it. And we all know the reason why Roman Reigns is in this position, so that when John Cena wins the money, when he wins the WWE title, when he wins his 15th world title, it's not going to look so obvious because Roman Reigns is the favorite going into the match. Think about that. And I can tell you probably what WWE's thinking right now. They're going to give the belts to Cena. Brock Lesnar's going to come back the next night. Cena versus Lesnar for the titles at SummerSlam. Lesnar wins. Lesnar and Cena fight again at Night of Champions. Lesnar wins. Daniel Bryan comes back at Night of Champions, says that he wants to get his rematch for the title. They fight at Survivor Series, and Daniel Bryan makes Brock Lesnar his bitch and wins the world title again. I know it's happening, and now it's obvious. It's obvious. They're going to make Brock Lesnar look so bad because now with Brock Lesnar beating the streak and everything, people are going to be like, oh, why didn't you give the belt to him? Why didn't you give the WWE world title to him? And now WWE can look at that and say, hey, we did give him the title like you asked, but we're gonna use giving him the title to make Daniel Bryan look like the godliest god that ever godded. And I don't get it. I really don't get why. Daniel Bryan is already over. He doesn't need to embarrass Brock Lesnar. And I know the whole storyline going into their match is probably going to be about Daniel Bryan's neck and how he's coming back too early and blah, blah, blah this and blah, blah, blah that. But I don't understand it. And speaking of Daniel Bryan, he's going to be at the pay-per-view, just saying. He's going to be at the pay-per-view on Sunday. It's going to be the first pay-per-view I get to watch on the WWE freaking network. Hopefully it doesn't shit on me. You know, I've heard a lot of stuff going on with how pay-per-views are actually played on the WWE network, how it's very laggy and that sometimes it can actually just shut off randomly on you. Hopefully it doesn't happen to me on Sunday. We have like 4 matches booked for freaking pay-per-view, and it is the week of the pay-per-view. I don't know what the hell they're trying to do with Kane. Kane is the biggest joke on television right now. This guy puts the mask on. He's a freaking demon. He kills anybody in his path, and then looks like the biggest bitch. Like he just gets destroyed by Cena last week, which you guys know I hated. He gets dominated by Roman Reigns in freaking 2.5 seconds after looking dominant. If WWE wanted to sell this pay-per-view, you could have had Kane tear house, beat up all 7 guys, not have Randy Orton stand by Triple H like a little lapdog over there. Have Randy Orton in the ring, have Kane just tear everybody up, and then maybe have like a little, face-to-face with Bray Wyatt, maybe kind of, tease a little thing between them, because I know we've already seen them fight before, but maybe have Bray Wyatt and Kane kind of stand face to face at each other, and that's how you end the show. Have Kane be announced as the 8th guy in the why do I keep saying that? The World Heavyweight Championship match at Money in the Bank, and have these two just face off, have them just stare at each other. And then that'll sell pay-per-view. That will sell it a lot more than anybody who's going to watch it right now, because the only reason they're going to be watching it right now is to see Roman Reigns try and win the world title. And it's not going to happen, because we all know Triple H is probably going to be the guy to screw Roman Reigns out of that belt, and keep that thing going so that Roman Reigns faces Triple H at SummerSlam. And then the next match, which is the big match on the card, Cena, Lesnar, WWE World Title. That's what's going to happen. The reason why Roman Reigns is in his position right now is so when John Cena wins the Money in the Bank, it's not going to be as obvious because Roman Reigns is the favorite. So they're going to be like, oh, well, Roman Reigns was the favorite. John Cena's the underdog coming into the match. That's their mindset going into this match. And the reason why Kane's in the match is probably so that when John Cena does win, it looks more dominant because he beat 7 other guys to get there. How many times has he beaten Kane in the past? Let's be for real. Look at what happened 2 years ago at the Rumble, and especially that heading into the freaking feud with The Rock. Kane looked like a bitch coming back. And, sure, he looked good at the Royal Rumble 2012, but then at Elimination Chamber, fucking Super Cena comes in and saves the day and rids the world of the monster. And that's it. And then Kane has to go into some crappy feud with Randy Orton going into to WrestleMania. And then Cena goes on and fights The Rock, and The Rock wins, obviously, but still, I don't get. Kane has done absolutely nothing good for 2 years, and I don't know why he hasn't retired. Please, for Kane's sake, Glenn, please, just retire. Just be done, because you have not looked dominant in 2 years. You went from coming back, embrace the hate John Cena, to hugging Daniel Bryan. Then you come back as corporate Kane. Now you're the demon Kane, and you look like the biggest bitch on television. That's it. That's enough. That's all of it. Honestly, Kane, just be done. Be done. Or WWE Creative needs to book Kane a lot better than they are. Because for him being a demon, he sure is getting his ass handed to him by a lot of people. And I'm sure Daniel Bryan's going to be coming to freaking Money in the Bank to say that he wants his world title back, and he's gonna pull a Rock and say, I'm going to be back at so and so pay-per-view, and I'm gonna get my title back, and I'm going to main event this thing with the belt. That's what I think is going to happen. Anyway, I'm taking up a lot of your time, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Let me know what you guys thought about the show down in the comment section below. I thought it was a decent show heading into the actual event itself, but yeah, let me know what you guys had to say about the show, and let me know how you're going to watch the pay-per-view. Are you going to be watching it on the internet? Are you going to be ordering it? Are you watching it on the network? How are you guys going to be watching it? Anyway, that's it for me. I'm out. Perry the Entertainer signing out. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that little rant because it was well deserved. Anyway, peace.